जय प्रभुपाद पतित पावना। गुरुदेव पतित पावना, गुरुदेव पतित पावना। जय जय प्रभुपाद, प्रभुपाद, प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद,
प्राणदान नदिया बिहारी
जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि विष्णु प्रिय प्राणगण नदिया विहारी
जय सच्चिदानंद गौरारी विष्णु प्रिय प्राणदान नदिया बिहारी
जय नित्याचार्य जय नित्याचार्य जय नित्याचार्य एक चक्रधाम
जय नित्याचार्य जय नित्याचार्य जय नित्याचार्य नित्या चक्रधाम
जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद
जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय श्रील गुरुदेव
जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव श्रील गुरुदेव
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरे हरि
हरि हरि बोल
Very nice. Jai Jai Sri Radhesham. His name is Krishna, so Krishna has come here. So forget the others, I'm coming. Guru Sevak. Shravan. Is he coming? Do another one. Do another one. You want to do? Come on, get there. Don't take it too high for me. Or sing it. Can you sing, Muhammad? Are you going to learn, all right? You tell me. No, I'm okay for now. Play with him. Because later on then you can. Shakale. Aradhya is going to teach me how to keep up in time.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, 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 Shri Radhesha.
What time is the class? Yeah. Okay, Jai Radha Madha. You want to sing with the group, Jai Radha Madha? Yeah, that'd be good. Awesome. Brings the answer. Yeah. You're going to do something.
Oh.
Wants to play everything. So do I. I'm bigger. Oh, yeah. Band in the box. I've tried everything. Hope I get the key now.
Oh, the thing we played itself? And it was a box that did everything. That was wicked.
In Bharat they have it for Aarti time. Really start really loudly. No?
I go to Shrivan, you're out of a job, man.
Is singing. Yeah. It's all right. Guru Sabha will back you.
Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jannavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Gopi Jannavallabha Jaya Jaya Gopi Jannavallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanna Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanna Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Gopi Janna Vallabha Jayo Girivaradari Jayo Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradari Jayo Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajanna Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanna Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj, Jaya Guru Maharaj. Nitai Gora Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go, Nitai Gora Hari Go.
Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol.
Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go. Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go, Hari Go. Radha Madhav Radha Shyama Sundar ki Jai. Shri Shri Sachinanitai Chand ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Gaura Premanari Bol. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Gauranga. Right, we need to somehow bring silence in the kitchen. They seem to be having more fun in there than
We are in here.
in front of the Lordship. So it's honestly, we are relearning a few things after this lockdown period, COVID. The one thing I completely forgotten was come bank holidays,
Yeah, it's every-
regular devotees disappear, but then, like, sometimes they're replaced with other people. But let's see what happens today, because it's bank holiday tomorrow. So, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudiraye.
Tato Jayam Mudire.
Surprisingly, that is the first verse of Garga Sangita. When I first read it, I was surprised the same verse as the.
Probably the sound is pulsing on that. Is there compression?
Is the echo off now? So next, next Sunday is Radhashtami.
Still
Uh,
happening, probably.
Next Sunday is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Can you hear it? It's
Ram.
just pulsing.
It's on and off, on and off. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Shouldn't be.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. I'm okay. So just to recap, next Sunday is Rath Yatra, and we'll be going after a 2-year absence. First year, nobody went. There was no Rath Yatra. It was cancelled because of COVID. Last year there was one, but a small one, with a single Rath. And same thing next week is a single Rath.
From now on, it's
always going to be okay.
you know that where they park.
Yes,
There
it's locked. Okay, we can't go there anymore. Okay. Anyway, so we'll be there, but we're not doing a coach. We're not doing a coach. We will. It's up to the individuals to decide if they want to go or not go, and make your own arrangements. So most of us will be taking our own cars. So, in respect of that, it's actually Radhashmi also on the same day. Then we're having an Adivas celebration for Radhashmi next Saturday from 2 to 5. From 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. Adivas ceremony. And when people ask what is Adivas, and the crudest example I can give, the most crude, and it's really not a good one, is it's like the stag party before the wedding. It's very crude. Okay, so it's the concept is you have something before the main event, right? So and this is genuine because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had an Adivas ceremony. It's mentioned before his wedding. The day before his wedding, he had an Adivas ceremony. And the thing is full of kirtan and chanting, dancing. And at the end, they offer sandalwood pulp and paste, sandalwood paste and flowers and garlands to the Lordship to complete the ceremony. So it's very spiritual. So we are doing one for Radha Ashmi next. Yeah. Okay. So today I am trying to glorify Radharani in some way, and Sanatan Goswami, and it's a bit like Sanatan Goswami wrote a commentary on the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. Priyad something, I forget the name. Priyad something Toshani. Priyad Toshani, something Toshani. It's a commentary on 10th canto. And when he came to Gopi Geet or the Panchadhyay, his comment was, this is like you have a very precious piece of jewelry, very precious jewelry, which needs little repairing. And what I'm trying to do is repair this precious, delicate jewelry with something called a kudal. A kudal is a heavy pick. You know, when the road workers, when they're repairing the roads, they have a big, heavy pick. So it's for me to try and speak on Panchadhyay or Gopi Geet is like me trying to repair this jewelry with a big pickaxe. So I feel completely inadequate, but I will try and glorify Radharani in the special place called Vrindavan. Okay. And there's loads. There was so much I had to quickly try and find. So I found something here, and this is a Sri Brahma Vivata Puran. And the 4th canto is Sri Krishna Janma Khand. It's all about Krishna's appearance. And there's so much, right from the beginning, but I have to dive in halfway. And what I'm trying to do today is, before jumping in with Radharani, make you all appreciate her special position. Her special position. And Krishna, Radha and Krishna together, so their special position. And it is to stop making a common mistake of seeing their pastimes as similar to our the relationships we have in this world. We somehow equate the two. We really shouldn't, because they look so similar, but they're not. So let's go back to how Mother Earth is burdened by the sin in the world, by the Kshatriyas misbehaving in the world, right? So this is how she approaches. So this is chapter 4, description of Golok. So Shri Narad said, ask by whom and for what reason did Lord Krishna, the master of the universe, come to the earth? O best of the knowers of the Vedas, please tell. This is a conversation with Narad Muni and Shri Narayan Rishi. Shri Narayan Rishi said, in ancient times during the Varakalpa, each day of Lord Brahma is known as a kalpa, and each day has a name. So we are in the Shweta Varakalpa. Yes, this particular day is Shweta Varakalpa. In ancient times, during the Varakalpa, bearing a great burden and filled with grief, the earth took shelter of the demigod Brahma. Accompanied by hosts of demigods who were all unhappy at heart to be so troubled by the demons, she went to the assembly of Brahma, which is very difficult to attain. There she saw Brahma, the king of the demigods, who shone with spiritual power, who was cheerfully served by the kings of the rishis, munis, and siddhas, who happily smiled as he glanced at the apsaras dancing and listened to the Gandharvas' beautiful singing, and who chanted the two most sacred syllables, Krishna, the hairs of his body erect and his eyes filled with tears of ecstasy of devotion. O sage, accompanied by the demigods, the earth goddess, and devotedly offered a respectful obeisance to Brahma and told him how she was burdened by the demons. So I'll just skip a few verses here, because otherwise it will take a long time. So initially she was reluctant to speak. Brahma asked her, please tell me the reason for your distress, but she was so overcome she couldn't speak. So hearing Brahma's words, the demigods instead spoke first. They said, O Lord, the earth is overcome by the demons, and we also are in the demons' grip. You are the creator of the worlds. Please stop the demons, O Brahma. The earth has taken shelter of you. You should stop the demons. So after they spoke, Brahma again turns to Bhumi Devi and says, please calm down and please tell me what is troubling you. When she heard these words, even though she was anxious and unhappy, she made her eyes and face cheerful and anxiously spoke to Brahma. Father, please listen, and I will tell the suffering in my heart. I cannot tell this to any but a faithful friend. And now this is Bhumi Devi's words of torment. And I was struck by what she is saying. This is really powerful stuff. Just what is troubling her. O Father of the worlds, you created me. I am not shy to tell you. Listen, and I will tell you who has brought the burden that crushes me. I cannot bear the burden of carrying great sinners that have no devotion to Lord Krishna and that blaspheme the devotees. I am crushed. Look at how strong she's saying. I'm crushed by carrying the burden of they who do not perform their religious duties, who never do what they should, and who have no faith in the Vedas. I cannot carry the burden of they who do not maintain their father, mother, guru, wives, sons, and grandsons. I am crushed by the burden of carrying they who speak lies. Big thing for devotees, don't speak lies. Big thing, yeah. I'm crushed by the burden of carrying they who speak lies, who have neither mercy nor truth, and who insult their spiritual masters. I am crushed by the burden of carrying they who become enemies to their friends, who are ungrateful, who bear false witness, who are faithless, and who rob what is given them to protect. I am crushed by the burden of carrying they who sell the auspicious Vedic prayers. I'm crushed by the burden of carrying they who sell the auspicious Vedic prayers and hymns and the most auspicious name of Lord Hari. Vedic scriptures, they're not to be made a business of. They're not to be made a business. I am crushed by carrying the burden of murderers, they who become enemies of their spiritual master. Brahmins misuse the Vedic rituals. They who hunt animals. They who have transformed the body into a crematorium for burning the flesh of dead animals. Wow, look, did you hear that? Oh, I'll read that again. I am crushed by carrying the burden of murderers. They who become enemies of their spiritual master. Brahmins who misuse the Vedic rituals, and they who hunt animals. They who have transformed the body into a crematorium for burning the flesh of dead animals, and Brahmins who eat what Shudras offer them. Okay. I am crushed by the burden of carrying the fools who hinder the performance of worship, yagya, fasting, vows, and sense control. Prabhuji, put the lights on, okay? I am crushed by carrying the burden of sinners who hate the cows, Brahmins, demigods, Vaishnavas, Lord Hari, and devotion to hearing the glories of Lord Hari. O Brahma, these demons crush me even more than Shankachud crushed me in the past. I, who have no shelter, have told you everything. Please give me shelter. So, that was a... Oh, this... Yeah, this is... this is end of Dwapar Yuga, going into Kali Yuga.
So it starts,
Yeah,
it's like dusk, it starts to get dark, but the sun is still there.
yeah.
So you can see what's happening. If Krishna didn't come, it got rapidly very, very bad.
But it must be worse now than it was.
Oh, no, of course, it's like way worse now. I mean, every day I'm thinking, my God, it's deteriorating. Huh?
Prabhu, sometimes it's not a past tense.
Yeah.
Visage what's going to happen as well.
Yeah.
And you've got to be very clever. It starts to happen apparition. Like in the morning, you don't see the sun, but you see the sunshine coming first. So you know daybreak is coming. So any of these activities, it foresees that's what's going to happen. And can you imagine for Vyasdev, he knows what happens in Kali Yuga. He must think, I must do something about it. It's like Corona. That's why we're wearing this. We know something bad can happen, so we take precaution. Some other earth goes to Brahma and saying, you better do something because
They can see what's coming.
yeah.
Because that was going to be my question.
Yeah, because you think like everything is being described here, 99.9% of the population is doing all of those incompleteness. They're doing everything.
Yeah.
Mother Earth is throwing up. I mean, that's why the climate change.
Yeah. Reaction. Massive reaction.
Comrade used to say that there's more slaughterhouses now than there was before.
Mm.
And my other question, sorry, I know you're trying to give...
No, it's okay. I think discussion is healthy.
Who was that Maharaja? He went from here to Brahmalok, and by the time he came back,
Yeah.
Indradumna.
so many yugas had passed already. So his Mother Earth gone
And
to
also
Brahma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King
her
Revat.
father went.
King
That's-
Revat.
Yeah, that's the question. And so many times had passed. And by the time he came back, he said, like, because he was trying to find a suitable
Yeah.
marriage for his daughter. And then in Brahma said, by the time you go back, Balaramji will be there. So my question is, but then it was part answered by Haridas Prabhu before I even spoke my mouth, that it's in advance as well. She's foreseeing what is coming. But if she's foreseeing, what must it be like at the time she went and the time she came back?
What it is now.
I had the same question when I
Sorry
'Cause
to
I-
interrupt, yeah.
No, because it was nagging me, saying, "Hang on, it's say we think of only one way things operate. When we see linearly everything, right? One thing. So I'm thinking, hang on." And I was always impressed with when King Revat went to Brahmlok and says, who do you suggest as a suitable bridegroom for my daughter? And Brahma laughed and says, when you go back, generations will go on. But then there are other incidences where that doesn't happen. So, and then what hit me was that time is under Krishna's control. Time is under Krishna's control. So it's not there's only one way things can operate. They can operate in different ways Krishna chooses. Just like when he did the Ras dance. For the whole universe, a whole night had passed. What is it? Whole night had passed.
No, because Krishna compressed
Hmm.
one night of Brahma into one night of Vrindavan.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how you can compress?
So this is what I'm saying. He is in control of time. He is in control of time. And he can make different people experience it differently.
Said it, and that's why he called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, this is what's happening in Navadvip. But later on, it's like the sun rises in Navadvip and then it goes all the way to America and all that kind of thing. So what started here will overtake. So I've got to block it. So he invoked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and then Srila Prabhupada went all over and gave Mahamantra. And you can see what's happening now. Very quickly deterioration is happening. But also the movement is kind of growing.
Hmm.
Thinking, why thinking any worse? He's trying to catch it. It's somebody throwing the ball and you get ready to whack it. So the ball is coming. It hasn't come there yet, but he's getting ready to whack it, and that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do. They averted them. They averted. But Bhumi Devi feels the pain already, like which way it's heading, the consciousness. So if you think about it, rather than the event, think of the consciousness. She picks it up, what's happening. In some places, then she realized it become global, which means that's the globe, that's the Mother Earth.
Because even the demons then, in those times, compared to people now, they were
Oh.
mega civilized. Like even Jarasandh, when Lord Krishna and Bhimsen and Arjun went to see him, he greeted them very nicely as Brahmins, washed their feet, did all that stuff. And if you say that guy's a demon, you'd be like, he's better than most of the world leaders like, around the world. They wouldn't do it.
And he noticed they had Kshatriya bodies because Arjun's hand, he saw the marks of the
Yeah.
arrows.
Mm.
He knew they were.
They were Brahmins.
He knew they
But
were.
because he
Brahmins,
said,
but
what would you want? He kept his word. Great demon. What we say. And these are how many demons we have in every street.
Yeah, it's like the saying that in Satyayuga there's one Ravan, now there's Ravan everywhere. Everywhere there's Ravan. Anyway, so let's carry on. So Bhumi Devi finishes speaking. So in this way, Lord Brahma comforted Mother Earth. Then, accompanied by Mother Earth and the demigods, Brahma went to Lord Shiva's abode, Mount Kailash. Coming to the beautiful ashram, Lord Brahma saw, staying under an eternal banyan tree by the shore of a river, Lord Shiva, who wore a tiger skin garment, who was decorated with the bones of Daksha's daughter, Sati, who held a spear and trident, who had 3 eyes on each of. He's wearing Sati's. Right, Krishna. He's a unique personality. Who was surrounded, yet he was surrounded by siddhas and served by the kings of yoga, who happily smiled as he glanced at the dancing of the apsaras. So then it goes on. In that place, Brahma, the Mother Earth, and the demigods stood before Lord Shiva, bowing down. Lord Shiva stood up and for a long time gazed at Lord Brahma, the master of the universe. Lord Shiva also affectionately bowed his head and accepted Lord Brahma's blessings. The demigods bowed down before Lord Shiva, and Mother Earth also bowed down with devotion. Then Lord Brahma told the news to Lord Shiva, the husband of Parvati. Lord Shiva was kind to the devotees. Wow. At once bowed his head when he heard it. Now, yeah, yeah. In the sense that Lord Shiva came from Lord Brahma. So Brahma is father of the universe, is described, right? So he's able to bless everybody in the universe. Rudra came from. Okay. Now, this is something which I found unusual. Carefully reassuring them, Brahma and Lord Shiva then sent Mother Earth and the demigods back to their homes. Right? At this point, it's different what I had understood. Then Lord Brahma and Shiva at once went to Yamaraj's abode. After some thought, all three went to Lord Hari's abode, the supreme realm of Vaikunt, where old age and death do not exist, which is situated in the spiritual sky above the material universes, which is 10 million yojans above Brahmlok, which is eternal. Right? They have the highest planet in this universe is Brahmlok. Now they've gone to Vaikunt, and which is 10 million yojans above Brahmlok. Above Brahmlok. And then it goes on. Traveling the speed of mind. So it's like the yogis, they are traveling at the speed of mind. These are long distances. Then the speed of mind, they went to that beautiful place where the royal paths are paved with rubies and sapphires. Entering Lord Hari's palace, the three demigods saw Lord Hari, who sat on a jewel throne, who was decorated with jewel ornaments and was splendid with jewel bracelets, armlets, and anklets. I'm just... So and now they're offering prayers to
10 million yojans is not a lot when you consider
The sun is from here is
yeah, you got to
this universe, but there's loads of other universes. So
Yeah,
the spiritual world are very close.
yeah,
10 million yojans is 8 miles.
8 miles, yeah,
So 80
yeah.
million
well,
miles.
that from here where the sun is all short of
93
I tell you,
miles. I thought 1 yojan was
Yeah.
8 miles, wasn't it?
8 miles.
yeah. This is a topic which fascinates me because I'm into astronomy and cosmology. And it was Sadaput Das, one of his books explained that you got to think in different dimensions now. Because, for example, in our Vedic scriptures, they say that the Chandra is somehow closer than Surya, but you have to look at it in a different dimension. Sorry, other way around. It's other way around, yeah, other way around. Right? There's universe which we are aware of, and then there's higher levels. Well, yeah, think of it as wormholes. Nothing wormholes. yeah, that's
I'm
yeah.
sure there was one person did a Vedic cosmology on YouTube. Sorry, I'm sidetracked. But it was showing that we conceive of the mic is feeding back. We conceive of the universe as like planets going around, and he goes, the Vedic version is like Bhumandal, and then like all the planets under it's like kind of like flat Earth sort of theory. It ties up
Bhumandal is
with the flat Earth thing rather than with the planets just going round and round. So like the Vedic.
I think it's the blind leading the blind here. I think
We go to
Sorry.
yeah. Let's not try to get
rather running because
Yeah.
this is exactly what Prabhupada warned us. Don't start to digress and all that because we're trying to be intelligent, but we're losing out what the point topic is.
So, what I want to make you appreciate is, we're going up now. Okay, we're going up spiritually. Okay, forget all these references, material references, distances. Forget all that. Spiritually, we're going on a journey now, from where we are, then to Brahmlok, now to Vaikunt, Lord Hari. Okay, Now they are before Shri Hari, the three demigods, and they're praying. So these prayers are nice. Shri Brahma said, I offer my respectful obeisance to the infallible and peaceful Supreme Personality Godhead, who is the beloved of Lakshmi and the master of all. We demigods are parts of the parts of the parts of the parts of the parts of him, you know. Ansh, 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 ansh. You know? O Lord, untouched by matter, the Manus, the kings of sages, the human beings, and the moving and unmoving entities are parts of the parts of the parts of the parts of you. Lord Shiva prayed, who has the power to properly glorify you, the immortal and imperishable Supreme Personality of Godhead? Who are the supreme controller and enjoyer, beginningless, the beginning of all, whose form is filled with bliss, whose form contains everything, who is the origin of the mystic perfections beginning with anima, who is the cause of all, whose knowledge is perfect, who grants perfection, who is the form of perfection. Shri Yamaraj said, who has the power to describe that being whom the wise say is the topic of the Vedas, but whom the Vedas fail to describe? The material mind can understand forms created by the modes of material nature, right? The mind can understand forms created by modes of material nature, but you are not touched by the modes of nature, right? How can I offer praise to you? We are in a spiritual world now. They've left the material universe. Material nature has no influence there. So when we, and again, Krishna is described as achintya, inconceivable. We need to really appreciate what we are saying here, inconceivable. Because everything, our problem is everything we read and hear about, we try and relate to something we are familiar with. Yes, you know, we try and make a bond. And as Prabhupada used to say, our problem is we bring Krishna down to our level. Instead of raising our consciousness, we bring him down to our level. Right? So, that particular prayer was really great. I love that. And then he said, "O great sage, a person." So this is probably Narayan Rishi speaking to Narada Muni. "O great sage, a person who reads these prayers of the demigods headed by Brahma, prayers spoken in eloquent verse, becomes free from difficulties and attains his desire." So now, Lord Hari has heard these prayers and now he's going to speak. He says, after hearing the demigod prayers, Lord Hari said to them, "You go to Golok." So Madhurath went to Brahma. Brahma couldn't help her. They went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva couldn't help them. The two of them. Then they went to Yamaraj. The three of them together went to Lord Hari. Now Hari is saying, now you go to Golok. So this, right? Keep in mind this journey. We're going on a journey, okay? Higher and higher spiritually. Spiritually. Then there is other, let's just for your reference, I'll read them. It says, you go to Golok and I will follow with Goddess Lakshmi. I will follow you. Right? Nar Narayan, who lives in Shvetadvip, will go to Golok and Goddess Saraswati will go also. Anant, my Maya, Kartikeya, Ganesh and Savitri, the mother of the Vedas, will also follow. Here I am with Lakshmi and my associates headed by Sunanda. There I am two-armed Krishna with Radha and the gopis. I am Narayan and I am Krishna. I am the Lord who resides in Shvetadvip. All the demigods headed by Brahma are considered my partial expansions. The living entities headed by the demigods, demons, human beings are parts of the parts of the parts of the parts of me. You go to Golok and your goal will be accomplished in the end. So that, you appreciate what's happening. And so now this is Garga Samhita, that was Brahmavata Puran. And it really struck me that the greatness of Vyasadeva. This is Vyasa splitting the one Puran, which is a billion verses in the heaven, in Brahmlok. It's a billion verses. And Vyasa had access to all that. He had access. And see his brilliance to now sectionalize them. Put something out, put in this Puran, something out, put in that Puran, right? And where do you begin? Where do you begin to do that? So this is what become clear to me. This is why bits of the same Leela are in different Purans in different details. In different details. It's amazing. So now we'll go to Garga Sangita.
Dealing with different modes.
Yeah.
Goodness,
Yeah.
one, mode of passion another one, and mode of ignorance another one. That's how they split them up. And then puts the lead according to that.
So in here, that journey of Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Yamaraj is described in detail in Garga Sangita, but I'll go to the part where they're actually standing before Krishna. It says here, again, look at this. Now I will describe to you Sri Krishna's coming to this earth during the Varakalpa. Oh Lord, please hear what happened.
So is this Sri Varahakalpa the same as this one, or is this a different?
Same one. We are in it now. This is the day of
This is not any different. Is it?
No, it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So,
We're in the Sri.
So there's the name of the Manu, and then there's the Kalpa.
We're in Vaivasvat
Manu,
right
yeah,
now.
Manvanta. And then the Kalpa is
Is there anything known as Padma Kalpa as well?
Probably.
oh my God! Every day of Lord Brahma has a name.
Every day has name.
Every day of Lord Brahma, and we are just over half his life, half more than 50 years. So imagine how many kalpas that is. So here we go. So this journey is from detail, but I'm skipping. So they went higher in Vaikunt. They're going higher and higher. So millions of yojans higher, they came to 8 cities, charming with glisten jewel forest groves. Higher still, the demigods saw the Virja river, splendid shore, which was splashed by waves white as silk and glorious with many staircases. After seeing this, they entered a city splendid as countless millions of suns. As they looked at its splendor, they became overpowered, their eyes struck by the light. By Lord Vishnu's order, Brahma offered obeisance to the light and meditated on it. So Lord Vishnu is with them. You remember in that book he said, you go there, we'll all come with you. In that circle of light, he saw the form of a peaceful transcendental realm. When the demigods saw in that realm the very wonderful form of the 1,000-faced Lord Shesha, which resembled a white lotus stem, they bowed down to offer respects to him. They're seeing the wonder of, as they go higher, they see different wonders as they're going. So they encountered personalities whose their forms are very beautiful, more beautiful than Kamdev himself. Shri Krishna's associates stood at the entrance. The demigod said, "We, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all the protectors of the planets and the demigods headed by Indra, have come here to see Shri Krishna." Shri Narad said, this is where they get stopped by the Krishna's doorkeepers, and they're all females. Having heard this, the doorkeepers, girls who were the Lord's friends, went inside the palace and told Shri Krishna that some visitors have come. Then one of them, named Shata Chandranana, who was dressed in yellow garments, who held a stick in her hand, and who was Shri Krishna's friend, came from inside and asked the demigods what they wished. Some of you know this pastime, yeah? She asked, all you demigods who have come here, of which universe are you the kings? You know, tell me, I shall go to the Lord at once. And the demigods said, we have not seen any other universes. We only know our own. There is no universe beyond ours. And she said, O demigod Brahma, millions of universes bob up and down in the Karan ocean. As you are demigods in one universe, so in each universe there are many demigods. You do not even know their names. When did you even meet them? Never leaving your own homes, you remain happy with stunted minds? Yeah, you know, one universe, living entities are born in many universes like mosquitoes in many udumbara fruits. Mocked in this way, the demigod was silent. Seeing them intimidated, Lord Vishnu spoke some words. He too said, we stay in the universe where eternal Lord Prishnigar descended, the universe broken by Lord Trivikrama's toenail. Hearing this, she praised Lord Vishnu for a long time, again entered the palace, returned, and gave the demigods permission to enter the palace. And then, as they're going through, they see many, many amazing things. So I'll just... Bowing down to offer respects, the demigods entered the Lord's personal forest grove, which was a 1,000-petal lotus that was a great circle of light. Above that was a 16-petal lotus, above that an 8-petal lotus, and above that a long path decorated with 3 stairways which led to 3 beautiful decorated steps. There all the demigods saw Shri Krishna. Right? Get this journey is in your head, I hope, right? Keep this journey in your head. We've started on this universe, went to different planets on this universe, and came out of this universe at the lower end of Vaikunt and higher in Vaikunt. And now in Golok Vrindavan, you're going higher and higher in Golok Vrindavan, going higher and higher. You know, 1,000-petal lotus and so many petal lotus, 8-petal lotus, 3 staircases going higher. And now finally there before Krishna. So there all the demigods saw Shri Krishna sitting on a splendid throne, studded with beautiful Kaustubha jewels and accompanied by Shri Radha. Finally, accompanied by Shri Radha. Yes, Shri Radha, who was accompanied by 8 splendid gopi friends. Now we are at the highest. There's nothing higher than this. And look what is here. You know, we take Astakis for granted, Radha Krishna for granted, Krishna Balaram, Radha Madhav in Mayapur, you know. We take them for granted. But who are these personalities? Highest. At the highest level. Who was accompanied by 8 splendid gopi friends headed by Mohini and served by 8 gopas headed by Sri Dama. Gopa friends. Let's not forget them. When Krishna descends, his parshads come with him. His parshads come with him. Who was served with diamond-handled chamaras, glories as swans, and millions of parasols like millions of moons. This is poetry. This is poetry. Krishna's left hand was decorated with Shri Radha. Such beautiful poetry. His left hand decorated with Shri Radha. Whose right foot was bent as he wished, who held a flute, who smiled gently and gracefully, whose eyebrows enchanted hosts of Kamdes, who was splendid as a rain cloud, whose large eyes were lotus petals, whose arms were long, who wore great yellow garments, whose neck was decorated with a beautiful garland of forest flowers, over which Vrindavan's intoxicated bees hovered, creating a buzzing sound. Wonderful. So carry on. Now, this is again to understand the special nature of Krishna. Okay, as these demigods are looking at Sri Krishna and Radha and the Sakis, the Gopas, right? As they're looking on, this is what happens. Shri Narad said, as everyone looked on, Lord Hari, the eight-armed master of Vaikuntha, appeared and merged in the body of Krishna. He went in the body of Krishna, or Hari, the master of Vaikuntha. He came.
Can we pause here a little bit so people can understand? Sometimes we've been thinking that Sri Hari we talk about as we addressing Krishna, but you can see the distinction here. You know, of all the Vaikuntha, Sri Hari is there. And in Mayapur, eternally Sri Hari resides. That's why Hari Bol. When you're in Mayapur, you say Hari Bol. And Keshav is in Mathura, eternally. So those are, and Purushottam Kshetra is Purushottam. So these are Kendras, they're always existing. So Sri Hari, you know, is in Mayapur, and our Guru Maharaj, Pant, they say Jai Sri Hari. So we've been thinking Jai Sri Hari and Krishna are the same. But here you can see the difference, that actually Krishna is origin of Sri Hari as well.
Hmm.
And because the Vaikuntha is so big, Vaikuntha is so big, vast, they don't want to trouble Sri Krishna. He is enjoying his Leela there. So Sri Hari, with all his arms and everything, is ruling over all of Vaikuntha like that. And then Narayan has 4 arms. So, you know, Narayan, the one who sleeps in the water. So Vishnu and Narayan sometimes, but Narayan is usually considered in Vaikuntha. So there's many, many references to, that's why they call it Vishnu Tattva. That's why it's Vishnu Tattva. You have to spend a lot of time to understand. But when Lord Krishna comes, he comes through all these personalities. So it looks like he came from Vishnu. But because they are Vishnu Tattva, so he comes. But Mahavishnu realizes this is the original Krishna, has come from Golok. So we're going through it quickly, but it's taken us so many years to understand what the difference is. Otherwise, in the beginning, we're thinking, okay, who's Vishnu, who's Krishna, you know, who's Narayan, and who's Mahavishnu? It gets very confusing. But as you go on, and then you realize they are at the same platform because they're the highest. You don't get higher than them. But within them, then you get, that's why Krishna's tu Bhagwan Swayam means you are avatari. Everything comes from you, and others are avatars. So please realize it'll take you many years to really appreciate what we are hearing here, like we are doing now. So when we say Sri Vishnu, sometimes we'll be saying Sri Vishnu, but we are thinking of Krishna. And sometimes we are thinking of Vishnu and we're saying Krishna. And even Prabhupada will translate sometimes, instead of saying Vishnu, he'll say Krishna. And you wonder, did Prahlad Maharaj say Krishna? And if you look at the verse, it does say Krishna. So Prahlad Maharaj knew about Krishna. Because in the day of Brahma, Sri Krishna comes. So another day comes, which is a long day. So again, Krishna would come. So these avatars, they know about Krishna. But can you imagine how lucky we are? Krishna came 5,000 years ago. Not a day before in Brahma. So we never realize we are close to a miracle. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago. That's very close. Because in one day of Brahma, maybe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, but not the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who's come this time from Golok. Sometimes it comes from Vaikuntha. So to say the Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishna, to start the chanting of the holy name. So we are so close to the Krishna, the Golok Krishna coming in the Mumra of Radharani. So you have to, when you go to Mayapur, those, you know, the Janam Sthan, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, Yog Peeth, please do visit it, because just 500 years ago he took birth there. And you go to Mathura, Janamsthan there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. And it's Adi Keshav, that's the deity. He stayed there. And there's another one near Yamuna, and Yamuna is called Kalindi. It's called Imlitala. Imlitala is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat, and he sat for 10 days there. Because he only went once to Vrindavan. You know, he tried many attempts, he couldn't make it, but then he did. There he stayed for 10 days. And a Kshatriya, he came and started to serve him there. Then he stayed with him. He was pretty tough. Now, I wondered why Imlitala was so important. I'll tell you now, on the side of Kalindi is Vamsivat. Vamsivat is where Krishna did the Ras dance. And then you walk there, because I've done that, and you go to Keshigat. So Keshigat is there, and the Kalindi. On the Keshigat, just to the left is Imlitala. And by Lord's mercy, I realized why he spent 10 days there. After doing the Ras dance, all the gopis and Krishna went into Yamuna and did Krida there, play, splashing water and all that. Can you imagine? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes from Jagannath Puri. He stays there for 10 days and meditating how he spent times with the gopis there. And when you realize that, you realize, you know, we just go to Vrindavan, let's have a rabdi here and let's have this there and whatever, you know, don't realize the real rabdi is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and sat down, and it's called Nitya Leela, but aprakat. There's Leela going on, but you can't see it. So he prakated 5,000 years ago. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Akrura Ghat. And I didn't realize that. So when I went there, there was a hand of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. There's a tree there. I only went once. I want to go again. And there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed quite a long time. And people started to come. And really thousands and thousands started to come to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he left from there. He goes, I'm getting too popular. Again, Akrura, just think of this one. Near Kalindi, this might be too high for some. Near Kalindi is Yog. They're all doing Ras Krida, right? There are two aspects to Krishna. Meeting him. The other one is Viyog. So Akrura took Krishna away from gopis. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there for a few days, Akrura Ghat, remembering this is where the separation happens. Now you tell me, that takes a lot of meditation to realize. Don't just walk around, you know, Vrindavan thinking nothing happened. Those rasas are still there. And that's what Siddha Purush, they very quietly don't go to the popular spots. They go where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to reveal, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed Radha Kund and Shyam Kund as well. It's the highest mood. He's Radharani and he's Krishna. He knew exactly where Radha Kund and Shyam Kund were. And that's why we follow the 6 Goswamis. These days people don't follow Gaudiya Vaishnava. They're finding other acharyas and whatever. And they don't even talk about these places. They are Nitya Leela places, means the Leela is going on like that. Sorry, I had to interject there, saying that Vrindavan, this one here, Bom Vrindavan, there are things Krishna did here, he doesn't do in Golok. So it is said somewhere, this Bom Vrindavan is even more special. Now, do we realize that? No. We just get a ticket, go there, and dying to come back again. But when you realize Krishna experienced some things here which he doesn't even experience in Golok, you know, I could go on a bit like that, but just want to interject saying that Golok we are talking about, if we ascended, please realize how lucky we are. We can buy a ticket, go to this Vrindavan. It's same, but we won't realize it. And those Siddh Purush who have, they have one leg in the material world, one in the spiritual world. And they know even Lata Pata, you know, the vegetations, the bushes and all that, they wouldn't pick them up. Tell them these roots are going to the internal, Nikunj, you know, Vrindavan. Please realize the gravity of your yatra to Vrindavan. We have foolishly gone many times. I've had the dokri there and the golgappas and everything in the beginning. I thought that was great. But now I don't even, you know, look at them. Because once you get this, and funny thing is, when you're over here meditating on those pastimes, you are in there. Please realize that. Because we've been to Vrindavan, every day I meditate on them honestly, without the visa, without paying ticket, paying for a ticket or anything. You feel it because you've been there. And then you just close your eyes and it gets you. It gets you every day. So please, Prabhupada gave us something really amazing. You've come in, don't see this another movement like another one. Prabhupada wanted to give you the rasa of what's written in there. The essence is in the movement. And you could miss it. You could miss it if you don't appreciate it. That's why Vidhu Prabhu is taking you on a journey, saying, look how high it is. That highest is the Vrindavan as well. But we never realize that. Because it's on planet Earth, we take it as, well, it can't be that important. Please, friends, realize whenever you go to Vrindavan, always think this is the highest. It's the same because it came from there. Radharani said, I'm not going unless Kalindi river Yamuna comes. I'm not going unless the Govardhan Parvat comes. They came from there. Do you know, we read it, how big Govardhan is. It was 80 miles high, amazing dimensions. And it's come down here. It's come down here because of Radharani's request. And we go to Giriraj and we're thinking, it's not that big. I mean, there's a Giriraj there. It's not that big. We just do the parikrama and we laugh it off. It's the Lord's choice to shrink it. Otherwise, it's a big one. You don't know what the Brahmaji's journey, and thanks for reading all that. They brought the Golok to here. This is how precious it is. And we never realize it. Even when I'm talking now, my heart is sort of thinking, you fool, when you were there last time, did you feel that? No, it didn't. It's Corona. It's helped me thinking. I used to go every year, take it for granted. But now through meditation, I've realized, even when I go now, I'll be looking at a rock, but I don't realize behind that where it has come from. Tulsi especially come here, and we grow it left, right, and center. And we never take it. Please pray to Tulsi. It does remove lots of your sins. Ekadashi, Radharani talked about it. These are the valuable things. They are not from planet Earth. They're not from material, universe like that. So please, what is reading here, there's got so much depth in it. It captures your heart thinking, I don't want to waste my time. Thinking, oh, let me do other things and then I'll get to it. You might not get the chance. This human birth will be wasted. So Srila Prabhupada, honestly, I'm so grateful to Srila Prabhupada. He's got us to do Tulsi Puja, do Ekadashis. This Mahamantra is another glorification altogether like that. So please, Prabhu, you're listening. Some of you are new here because while Vidhu Prabhu was reading, we have read it before, so we knew it. But I was thinking, because you're new, it might not register with you. But what Vidhu Prabhu is giving you is the journey and the value of Radha Krishna's position. So please realize, you won't understand it, but just accept today what he tried to aim is the highest. And Srila Prabhupada gave it to us like that.
All right, Hare Krishna. So first, Lord Hari appeared, merged into Krishna's body. Next, the perfect, ferocious, and powerful Lord Nrsimha, who was effulgent in millions of suns, merged in Lord Krishna's effulgence. Then the master of Shvetadweep, who was decorated with 1,000 arms, came in a splendid chariot drawn by 100,000 horses, opulent with many weapons, accompanied by the goddess of fortune, and served by many associates. He suddenly emerged in the body of Shri Krishna. Then, holding a bow and arrows, glorious with Sita, and accompanied by his brothers, lotus-eyed Lord Ramchandra came in a golden chariot that was effulgent as 100 million suns, decorated with swaying chamaras, opulent with countless monkey kings, rumbling with 100,000 wheels, decorated with 100,000 flags, and pulled by 10,000 horses, merged in the body of Lord Krishna. Then Lord Yagya, who is known as Narayan and Hari, who is glorious like a flame in the fire of cosmic devastation, who is the master of the demigods, who is glorious with his consort Dakshina, came in a splendid and beautiful chariot and suddenly merged in the dark form of Lord Krishna. Then Lord Narnarayan, whose eyes were large, who had 4 arms, who was dressed as a sage, who was splendid like a dark cloud, whose matted hair was a lightning flash, who observed an unbroken vow of celibacy, and who was surrounded by splendid multitudes of the kings of sages, suddenly emerged in the handsome dark form of Lord Krishna. As everyone looked on, their hearts filled with wonder. Filled with wonder, and now understanding that Shri Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods offered many praise. And the word here is Paripurnatamam. Paripurnatamam. Topmost, highest. Then the demigods now offering praise to Shri Krishna, obeisance to Shri Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, greater than the greatest, the master of sacrifices, the cause of all causes, the lover of Radha, the most perfect, and the Lord who resides in Golok. So let us just move on. Then he said, what request shall we place before you today? The demigods are still praying. They're saying, O Lord, you are a necklace of moons Shri Radha places over her heart. You are the source of life for the gopis' eyes. You are a flag over Golok. You are the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. O Lord, from all calamities, please protect the demigods. Then Shri Krishna, having heard all the prayers and requests, he now replies. He says, O Shiva, O elders of the demigods, O demigods, hear my words. By my order, you and your wives should take birth by your Ansh expansions in the family of the Yadus. I will also descend. I will remove the earth's burden. I will perform the work you request. I will take birth in the Yadu family. The Vedas are my words, the Brahmans are my mouth, the cows are my body, you demigods are my limbs, my devotees are the life breath in my heart. Yuge yuge, millennium after millennium, whenever the blasphemers stop religion, sacrifice and mercy, I descend myself. Lord Krishna, Narad said, when her husband, Lord Krishna, the master of the universe, had spoken, Shri Radha, overcome with fear of being separated from him, and now like a flowering vine burning in a great forest fire, weeping, trembling, about to faint, unconscious, and the hairs of her body erect, spoke to him. And then Shri Radha Vacha. Shri Radha said, go to the earth and remove its burden. Hear my great vow, O Lord of my life. When you are gone, I will not keep my body alive in this place. If you do not believe my words, I will say them a second time. If you go, then my life, yearning to depart, will become like a camphor dust. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, I will go with you, O Radha. Don't lament. I will remove the earth's burden and I will keep your word. And this is what Harida was saying. Shri Radhiko Vacha Yatra Vrindavanam Nasti Yatra na Yamuna Nadi Yatra Govardhano Nasti Tatra Mena Manasukham. Shri Radha said, my heart cannot be happy where there is no Vrindavan forest, no Yamuna river, no Govardhan hill. Remember where we are at the topmost level now, okay? Nothing higher than that. You can't go higher than that, okay? And now this is what Krishna is saying. Then Lord Krishna sent to the earth, because Radharani cannot be happy without these three items, yeah? Vrindavan, Yamuna, Govardhan. She cannot be happy if they're not there. Then Lord Krishna sent to the earth Govardhan hill, the Yamuna river, and a 47 crores, a small, not the whole Golok Vrindavan, a 47 crores portion of his own abode. This is Vrindavan. This is Vrindavan. But the warning is correct that, if you go as a tourist, you will never touch even Bom Vrindavan. You only touch the shadow of it. If you go as a tourist, you must go as a devotee. Then you will experience real Bom Vrindavan. You can. Many devotees have had wonderful experiences. Never go to Vrindavan. Gosai, you were saying once in one of his class, if you don't come like a tourist, go somewhere else even be a tourist. Go to Mumbai, Delhi, somewhere. Why don't waste time coming here? Go as a devotee, right? So then Lord Krishna sent to the earth Govardhan Hill, Yamuna River, and a 47 cross portion of his abode. Bowing again and again and again with the demigods, Lord Brahma addressed the original Supreme Personality Goddess Shri Krishna. So I think then there's details of like Brahma saying where should I go and etc. But I wanted to finish there. This Vrindavan, which we have been missing for 3 years now, and it's very special. Very, very special. And why is Vrindavan here? Why? Who do we owe that Vrindavan to? Radharani. Because of Radharani we have Bom Vrindavan. Because of her. And it's her appearance we are celebrating next week. Okay. So get ready. Get excited. Hare Krishna.
Any questions, please? Any comments? Yes.
Something that really struck me was how when all the various Vishnu Tattvas go back into Krishna, Narasimhadev went into Krishna's effulgence
Effulgence, yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
Krishna's body.
First time I noticed that, yeah.
Yeah. You got any comments on that? Or
Not really.
The difference between Krishna and his effulgence.
Especially in Golok Vrindavan.
The candle in his hand.
Especially in Golok Vrindavan. Yeah.
See, Nrsimhadev is everywhere. And effulgence is everywhere as well. so that's why we do Nrsimhadev prayers. Whenever we go, you ask, why do we do that? Nrsimhadev? Because he is everywhere. That's why Hiranyakashipu said, is he in the pillar as well? He is everywhere. Yeah. And he came out of the pillar. And it shows you he's everywhere. So effulgence is everywhere. So I mean, I don't know the answer, but I'm just taking it. That they don't write anything just like that because there is a deep understanding of where the aspect is coming from.
I mean, I'm also getting a deeper appreciation for Sanskrit itself and the writings of the acharyas and these great personalities. I mean, there was one place I'm reading, they are discussing the word cha. So cha is usually just and, right? And, right? But they were discussing, there's a discussion on the word cha is placed in that verse at that particular moment. Significance. So, my God. Yeah.
Well, the
So,
Atmanam verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's what he did.
yeah.
He was giving different meanings to one word,
Yeah.
and whatever Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, didn't even touch that. He gave additional. And Sanatana Goswami said, can you give me an Atmaram verse again? This is in Varanasi. And he says, I spoke like a madman. I don't know what I said. He says, but I'll have another go. So he gave 80 meanings of touching what he spoke in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And like he said, the word Atma, what does it mean? It can mean body as well.
Yeah.
It can mean the mind as well. And and then each word, because I know the verse, but I won't repeat it. I've forgotten half of it now. But each word has different context. Depends what's it against. If it's before something, it means something like that. Because it follows another word, then it starts to mean something. It's a link. It's like two bogies. They're being linked. That's the first class. This is second class. So this link. So you could say, well, this link is with the first class. Well, it depends how you're looking at it. And the other one is, this link is with the second class. But the link is a common link, you see. So you can see each word. Each word's connecting. I used to wonder why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to Bhagavatam again and again. He used to love it. He's the Lord. Why are they doing that? You don't realize that when you're listening to Bhagavatam, it depends on your consciousness of the day. So you'll pick something out from the Bhagavatam which you never did before. You know, we've read Bhagavad Gita many times saying, how come I didn't pick that up? Aapki us din consciousness kaisi hai? Kaisa sang hai? And sometimes if any atheist or impersonal is sitting there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wouldn't listen to Bhagavatam. He goes, okay, stop. Because he realized this guy is going to influence me, give me impersonal consciousness. Like if there's a red filter in front of the red light is going to come. Somebody say, that's not the true color. It's the filter in there. So even our satsang we are doing, they wanted to know who is in there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even doing kirtan at Shiva Sangan, he will lock the door. So people who don't believe in it, they can't come in there. And they got annoyed and cursed them, saying, why are we not allowed in? You know, and please realize this association is satsang, association of the truth. And the more you purify your heart, the more when you have satsang, numbers don't count. It's the purity of the association. Then what happens is you can feel the Lord's mercy quicker. And sometimes big crowds and everything give you a different kind of feeling of Kedli Majaivi, how much I enjoyed. But that's sense gratification. But sometimes just 2 or 3 people doing bhajan, you come away thinking, I'm thinking of Krishna now all the time. You see, so that satsang is very, very important. Usually people count success at numbers, how many came and whatever. But the sadhus count as who was speaking, who's bhakta, who's shruta. Even the listener has to be qualified. See, we never realize. We think, oh, any Tom, Dick and Harry can come and sit there. I've been in there once. There were Mahatmas there. I forget now. But I made a comment. Somebody says, so ye kaise hua? How did this happen? So I thought, this is easy. So I spoke. None of them acknowledged what I said. And I started to sweat. And others didn't say. They just had their heads down. And I thought, I think I shouldn't have said anything. I've read it somewhere that when there's a discussion going on, if you're not at their level, don't even say it. Even if he says, what is 2 plus 2? You know it's 4, you just stay put. Let somebody who's up there say it's 4. Because there, when you say 4, you suddenly realize your ego comes, there were everybody there, I was the first one to say 4. See what's happening? You're not realizing the truth. You're realizing your ego. I was the first one there. And in satsang, ego should not come there. Can you see how grave the whole thing is? We don't realize that. You know, some subject matters are going on, we must grasp it. But because our focus is somewhere else, you remember many times Guru Maharaj says, why are they laughing outside? Tell them to be quiet, be satoguni. Or I was thinking, well, it's not that loud, but the attention goes outside there. So recently I've been doing bhajan, and I must say before I never used to close the door. Now, if something's happening in the kitchen or some machine going on or whatever, I actually close it. Because you know what? Before my mind wasn't focusing, it was distracted anyway. So another distraction doesn't really distract it, does it? You know, you're sitting there chanting the Lord's name. But now, because the focus has come, any move or any or phone, it goes there thinking, no, I was with that moment. It's a distraction. So I've started to value now ekant. Ekant means what? Silence. Ek-kant means only one hero. That's Krishna. And what was the other one? There were 3. Pundik Maharaj sort of said 3. But I realized ekant, peace means between you and the Supreme Lord. We should all try to, when you're at home, you can't do here. But because it's Kali Yuga, then congregation chanting is very important. Because Prabhupada said you're not qualified to do, bhajan on your own. Bhajana Nandis. So it's Goshta Nandis. Ghosh means many of you come together. So that's why this temple is very important. And thank you young people for coming. We are waiting for young people. We're getting old. And thank you for coming. Krishna is over there. Jagannath Sudha rang me saying, can you look after him a bit? He's there. I didn't realize he was talking about you. So Guru Savagamili said, yeah, we know Krishna. He came on Balram Jayanti. So give him a big round of applause for joining. It's his birthday on, it was on Janmashtami 20 years ago. So that's why he was called Krishna. His mother called him. But it's on Tuesday, so Pujari Dev is going to make a little cake for him. And your name again? Om. Wow. Hari Om. So here is Om. His grandfather is from Gayatri Parivar. So then he came at Janmashtami and immediately started to dance with me. I was thinking, normally, youngsters are a little shy and all that, but he joined in there. So, please greet him and bolo Hari Om.
Hari Bo.
And our regular Rataj. What does Rataj mean?
I mean, Rutu means season. Yeah.
Oh, Ritu. Okay.
So he's seasonal, but you're not seasonal. I mean, you come regularly. So I must say I'm really impressed that you're coming regularly, and then you have questions. Please do ask questions. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. We're not showing cleverness here. I mean, you could say, sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't understand that. What did you mean? Very, very important. Just inquire. And then you will realize, oh my God, my question has been answered. And many times you'll have a question, the class will give the answer anyway, and you think, oh my God, that was the question. No, it's got answered. It's happened many, many times. So, there's Radha Mohan there, he's come there, and please, we know him from when he was 17, 18, 16, something like that. So he's very much into going to Vrindavan. He rings me regularly. He's missing it. Went to Mathura as well. And so welcome. Nice to be here. The other side, why I'm introducing the youngsters is, please, can you realize this knowledge is to be given to you so then you can give it to the next generation. You have a role to play, right? And you can become a great student and grihastha like we all are. I got married and everything, and I knew Krishna consciousness before my marriage. And then I've got children. That's Guru Sevak and Alok there. It's not wrong to be a grihastha. And it's not wrong to be a brahmachari. Whatever situation you're in, just accept it. As long as I'm Krishna consciousness, let's not socially see where I'm at. Because sometimes youngster people think, okay, if I turn to Krishna, will he give me a good girl? Or a good man or something like that. That's what you're thinking. And then you find your life goes on, you don't even have a girl or you don't even have a man. You're thinking, did I chant wrongly or something? Because that's desire. Just leave it to him. Just leave it to him. And when your heart is pure, there's no asking, you will see whatever desire you had, you've forgotten now, it comes true. And you're thinking, oh my God, I just remember I did desire, the look has come now. But when that desire is the basis of your devotion, he'll frustrate you. We have all seen when our desire is there, he frustrates us. Because if you go towards him, he wants to make sure he burns all which is waste on you. He will make you pure like that. So I'm just sharing and encouraging youngsters. Please, and I like Krishna's mood. He told Jagannath, can I do seva in the kitchen? And thank you for coming and peeling loads of potatoes. It's a start. You're lucky. We started to wash dishes. Isn't that right, Pattapavan? I went to the manor for 3 years. I just washed the dishes. Then my Guru Maharaj says, Beta, is that all you're going to do the rest of your life? But I just enjoy it. I still do. I still enjoy it. Wash dishes at home. So please, there's a lot of promise here. Srila Prabhupada, he is so generous. He does not ignore anyone. You don't think Prabhupada is no here. This is Prabhupada there. He's in his books. He's in our hearts. So when you come here, this is not an ordinary temple. It looks very ordinary. Hardly anybody here and whatever. We don't even know when they're going to turn up. Like there's a football team there going down and down, relegating. So one guy rang, he said, what time does the match start? He goes, what time can you get here? We'll start it then. So this temple is a bit like that. I was rushing, come on, why is everybody taking it easy, when they come here? We should start at 4:30 because we are broadcasting it. But we'll get to that. But I don't want to force anyone. But once we are here, what are we doing? That is the important thing. How grave and deep we become. And when you become deep, the smile comes and the joy comes. And you don't artificially do it to show that you're happy because Krishna consciousness. Inside you're thinking, no, I'm not. I just pretended. But outside you might be very sick. Many times he comes next door and he'll come to me, are you okay? I go, yeah, why? I'm like that, serious. Because I've just done my bhajan. Outside thing doesn't hit a chord. So your face. So even when I look at my mirror, I'm thinking I should be happy because I've just realized such lovely things. But you become great. That's what gravitas means. You are deep. It doesn't mean you're joyful and happy, but sometimes we are too superficial, and then that happiness disappears. So we need to become gravitas and all that, but be happy. Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. So if you have any questions and all that afterwards when we do prasad, I sit at that end. You can come. Please do ask. I think boga ho gaya hoga. Yeah, very nice class. Round of applause, please.
Both the
Thank you.
lights on, decorated, festival lights. Yeah. Today Sunday.
Effulgence is not different from its form. But isn't it potency?
Today Sunday. On Sundays you can do it.
Potency of the after a long time.
Mansukh,
कहाँ चले गए थे?
Mansukh,
वैसे के वैसे लगते हैं.
कोरोना में बंद कर दिया मैंने थोड़ा पूछा तो
Corona. Yeah, the potency wise. So the thing is, that's why vadanti tat tatvavidas tatum jnanam advaita brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti shabdate. So it's non-dual, but the perspective is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So some people stay with that perspective of Brahman, they lose out because actually Bhagwan is there. So some stay on the localized, Lord, which is Paramatma, and they think that's all in all. They miss out. The ultimate is the Bhagwan, which has the Paramatma feature and the Brahman. So I would say that effulgence and whatever is non-dual. But you can't say you're going to get the rasa, same as Leela Ras, with the Bhagwan. The effulgence would be, not having dimension. It's like the sunshine and the sun.
Yeah.
The sunshine is there because of the sun, but it doesn't have the same, thing as the sun.
Generally, I think the description is given that the effulgence is simultaneously one with and different from Krishna's forms.
Yeah.
So it's a Chinta Veda Veda Tattva.
Achinta Veda. So it's achinta. But when you work on it, because some people refuse to accept Krishna's body as superior to Brahman. I know it. That's why they call Mayavadi Krishna Aparadhi. They refuse. So then with them they argue. And that's why Prabhupada said, don't even go for discussion with them, just chant Hare Krishna. Because you won't be able to defeat them, because they won't go beyond that. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't like that. That's okay. So does that explain it?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So see, what happens in bhakti, the more you read and the more you discuss, sometimes the answer is shastric, sometimes the answer is what you've realized over the years after reading. So then it enlightens those sort of thinking, oh my God, what was that answer? And people could say, where is that written every time? So I'm sure there's a verse there, but this Vedanti Tattvavidas captures that. So that's why it's nice to sit with senior devotees, because the same subject matter will have greater depth, because they've actually gone deeper and deeper into there. And sometimes the question isn't so deep, so they're able to answer in different ways. And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could answer. And he said it, I spoke like a madman, meaning he's true. I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord. Whatever he says is going to be the truth. But he remembered, because when that Kashmiri Pandit did 100 verses, he remembered all the 100 verses, and he was able to point out the mistake in it. And Keshav Kashmiri was, oh my God, he remembered, he just spontaneously created it. Lord can remember. But to Sanatana Goswami, he said, I spoke like a madman, I can't remember what it is. But let me see what I see it like that. ठीक है ना? Okay. अच्छा, टोलकी fix कर अपनी. Okay. Otherwise, Aarti. Yeah. Not only that, Aarti will be finished. We'll just tune the. Okay, we need to sing. Are you going to sing the?
Oh no, I'll just check in the mic.
So those who are new, there are sheets here with the prayers on
जय।
নিতাই গৌরা হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, নিতাই গৌরা হরি বল। হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল। হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল।
বাহুর কোটি চন্দ্রজিনী বদন উৎপাল
বাহু কোটি চন্দ্র জিনি বদন
কালা দেশে বানমালা করে জলমালা
দেশে বনমালা করে ঝলমালা।
সুখ নারদা প্রেমিক দাদারা শিব
শিব সুখ নারদ প্রেমে গদ গদ।
পার্বতী বিনোদা দেশে গোরায় সম্পাদা
শিব জয় জয় গোরা চাঁদে আরতি विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने
Dayo Krishna Prachaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swami
Swaminiti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine
Prabhupada
Nirvishesha Shurnavadi Pashat Deshatarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shurnavadi Pasachari Chatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati
Gaura
Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Gora 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 Hare, Gora 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 Hare, Gora 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 Hare, Gora 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 Hare, Jaya Sacinandana Gora Hare, Jai Sacinandana Gora Hare, Jaya Sacinandana Gora Hare, Jai Sacinandana
प्रिया प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी
विष्णु प्रिया प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी
बोलो विष्णु प्रिया प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी
विष्णु प्रिया प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी
जय निताय चाँद जय निताय चाँद
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 जय निताय चाँद जय एको चक्रधाम
जय निताय चाँद जय एक चक्रधाम
बोलो जय निताय चाँद जय एको चक्रधाम
जय निताय चाँद जय एक चक्रधाम
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Jagannath Swami, Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me.
Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me.
नीलाचल चंद्र स्वामी जगन्नाथ नीलाचल माधव प्यारे जगन्नाथ
नीलाचल चंद्र स्वामी जगन्नाथ लीलाचल माधव प्यारे जगन्नाथ
जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय श्याम सुंदर प्यारे जगन्नाथ
जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय श्याम सुंदर प्यारे जगन्नाथ
जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा
जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा
जय सचिनंदन गुराहारी विष्णु प्रिया प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी
जय सचिनंदन गौरहरि विष्णु प्रिया प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी
गौरा 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 हरि पतित पावन गौरा हरि
गौरा गौरा हरि पतित पावन गौरा हरि
जय निताय चाँद जय निताय चाँद जय निताय चाँद के चक्रधाम
निताय चाँद जय निताय चाँद जय निताय चाँद देखो चक्रधाम
जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधे
जय राधा गोकुलानंद राधा गोकुलानंद राधे
जय राधा माधव जय राधा रमण राधा रमण राधे
जय राधा रमण राधा रमण राधे
जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन
गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन
जय श्री मधुसूदन श्री मधुसूदन श्री मधुसूदन जय श्री मधुसूदन
जय श्री मधुसूदन श्री मधुसूदन श्री मधुसूदन जय श्री मधुसूदन
जय मणिमा 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 जय मणिमा
मणिमा मणिमा मणिमा जय मणिमा
राधा मेरी स्वामनी मैं राधे को दास जन्म जन्म मोहे दीजियो कहा
श्री वृंदावन वास जय हो
वृंदावन वास बोलो राधा मेरी
स्वामनी मैं राधे को दास जन्म जन्म मोहे दीजिए श्री वृंदावन वास
हे राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय
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 बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय
बोलो बरसाने वाली की जय जय जय
राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय
राधा रानी की जय महारानी की जय
ओ राधे राधे बोलो बरसाना में डोलो
राधे राधे बोलो बरसाना में डोलो
राधे राधे बोलो वृंदावन में डोलो
राधे राधे बोलो वृंदावन में डोलो
राधे राधे बोलो कवंट्री में डोलो
राधे राधे बोलो कवंट्री में डोलो
श्री राधे गोपाल भजमन श्री राधे
श्री राधे
गोपाल
भजमन
श्री राधे
श्री राधे गोपाल भजमन श्री राधे
श्री राधे
गोपाल भजमन श्री राधे
श्री राधे घन श्याम राधे
श्री राधे घन श्याम राधे
श्री राधे गोपाल राधे
श्री राधे गोपाल राधे
जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम
जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम
जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम
जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम
जय जय श्री वृंदावन Radha, Shri Radha. Jai Radhe Radhe, 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 Jai Radhe Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Radhe Radhe. Bolo Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Oh Radhe Radhe, Oh Radhe Radhe, Bolo Radhe Radhe, Radhe 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 Radhe, Jai Radhe 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 Radhe. Oh Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल.
Can't open the door. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल.
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम
Sita
राम.
Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
सीता राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jagat Guru.
जयो प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jagat Guru.
Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jagat Guru.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Patite Pavan.
Jayo Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Patita Pavan.
Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Patite Pavan.
Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Patita Pavan.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bo,
Nitai Gaur,
Hari Bo,
Nitai Gaur,
Hari Bo,
Nitai Gaur,
Gaura Hari Bo,
Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo,
Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur.
Oh, Nitai Gaur.
Nitai Gaur.
Oh, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक शरीर श्री श्रीमद अभय शरणार बिंदु भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। गुरु घर परंपरा की जय। श्री गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। श्यामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री सच्चिदानंद निताय चांद की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। नीलाचल क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथ धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोकुल राधा माधव राधा रमन भगवान की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। संडे महोत्सव की जय। संडे प्रीति भोज की जय। समवेत all glories to the devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj ki jai ho.
For those who departed, and Gaurhari is
Amongst the departed souls, you're remembering Gaurhari's mother, Indravadan Bhatt, Jayeshbhai's father, Jayeshbhai Pujari's father, Gopal Sutradhar, our Pujari Dev's cousin, and Bhanumat Ben Solanki, Aruna Ben's mother in Canada. You're also remembering our many ISKCON gurus and leaders, especially for Jayapatak Swami and His Holiness Kadam Kanan Swami. And we are also remembering those still with us, Pundik Maharaj's mother, Dasharat Prabhu, Shilpa Parekh's mother-in-law, that's in Rugby, Parshottam Vadukar, that's my brother-in-law, so he's been in hospital for a whole week. And many others who are there for some time now, so we remember all of them. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narisingaya
tan kana kanale.
Ito nasengo parato nasengo.
Ito nasingo parado nasingo.
Yato yato yamitato nasengo.
Ito yamita to nasingo.
Pahir nasengo hirdai nasengo.
Nasingo ritae nasingo.
Narsingamadim sharanam prapatir.
Ashingamatim sharanam prapade.
Tavakara kamalabari nakamadhuta shringayam dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvengam keshavadita narahari rupa jayo jagadisha hare jayo jagadisha hare jayo jagadisha hare.
Nakana Buddha Shringaya Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanobringam Keshavadita Nanahari Rupan Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Keshavadita narari rupa jagadisha hare jayo jagadisha hare jayo jagadisha hare
So Hare Krishna, it's so nice to see so many people,